So I made this video, the monthly contest in the Corporate Clash Discord server. In case you didn't know, the Corporate Clash Discord server hosts a monthly contest every month, as you know. um, that so like a certain challenge every month they have to do. And for January 2022, which is the one that this video was for a recap for 2021, year 2021, basically talking about any updates or events, any other things that they added to the game or did for the game in the year 2021. Anything related to the game 2021, essentially. So I made this video about that, met all the requirements and everything, so I submitted it, and for some reason, it wasn't in the voting poll to vote for a winner. And I reached out to a staff member, asked them why that's the case, because I'm pretty sure I met all the requirements, and they said that we actually didn't receive a submission from me. And so they asked me to send them the video directly through Discord, and they looked at it and they said, this is actually really well done. Sure, you worked very hard on it, it's very informative, and I'm really kind of upset that I'm able to get into the poll, because, again, I'm sure you worked very hard on it. So instead, they gave me a code that gives me 10,000 jelly beans. I can use it on any tune that I want. Pretty sure it's only one-time use, that would be too overpowered if it was infinite uses, but... So, they gave me that code since I clearly did make a submission, and I worked hard on it, met all the requirements and everything, but due to an error on either of our ends, unfortunately, the submission didn't go through for whatever reason, so it wasn't able to be presented in the poll. Because so many people had already voted in the poll that, like, they said they already got hundreds of votes at that time already. So, it wouldn't be fair for them to restart the poll, add me in there, with so many people having already voted. So that makes sense to me, and so I'll just take the code. That's probably the next best thing, honestly, since I can't get into the contest. But so here's the funny thing, though. This contest has 3 categories, and usually there can only be 3 winners of the contest. But this one had 3 categories, and usually when they do this, there can be 3 winners for each category. So there can be 9 winners in total for the whole contest. And guess how many people submitted something for the video category? 3 people. Which means those 3 people won automatically, since rules state that only 3 people can win, and since only 3 people submitted something, it's technically not breaking any of the guidelines to have them all win. So there was no contest at all for the video category. They just submitted, it was only 3 of them, and, well, they won. There was no contest, right? Technically, 3rd place is also last place, but 3rd place, 3 people, so they all won. Had my video submission gone through, I would have been a 4th person, and there would have been some actual competition there as to not be the 4th place person. Because whoever comes in 4th place then would be the guy to not earn something. That has actually unfortunately happened before, where it was an art contest, where it was a drawing art contest, right? Not just writing or video making, but actually drawing. And there were 4 submissions, and the person who was on the bottom of the list got the least amount of votes, and so they were the only one who didn't win anything. And people don't think this is a coincidence. They thought that people who voted, like, looked at the ones on top and then kind of skipped over the one on the bottom because they already voted in it. And that is unfortunately kind of true for how I can imagine quite a few people vote, especially if there's a lot of submissions, like there's like, I don't know, 30 submissions or something, which has happened before. Like, I'm pretty sure not everyone is going to want to look at every single submission thoroughly, and so they're just going to keep everything and just choosing one that they happen to come across. Typically, if it is the case like this, then the very first one and the very last one would usually get the most attention. I know mine was, at one point, one of the submissions that I made for the previous contest was the last one, and I ended up winning 2nd place, I believe. And I'll get more into that in a second. But when it comes to something with, like, just 4 people, people kind of just look at the top one and they kind of scroll past the last one, right? People didn't think it was a coincidence that the person who was last on the list happened to also get last place. So they were the only one who didn't get anything. It was kind of really unfortunate, but that's just how it works out. And you could technically prevent people from voting like this if you format it in a good way, but the way that it was formatted, you can't really prevent people from voting in that sort of way. You can't, like, this is unfortunate the way that it was. But they did say this would be the very last Discord contest that they, not the Discord contest that they do. Supposed to be more contests, but this would, I think, but they said this would be like the last monthly Discord contest in the style and everything. And so as I said, I did win one of the contests in the past. It was, we were trying to create a poem for, like Halloween-related poem in October, right? So I submitted mine very late. It was like an hour before the deadline and stuff. Actually, I think it was after. I think technically it was after the deadline, but he didn't close the polls until like a day and a half after the deadline. And so even though I had submitted it late, it still went through. And my submission was literally just the Fitnessgram pacer test, but altered a little bit to fit the theme of Halloween and Clash, and it won. It was also the last on the list. Had mine been in the middle, I doubt many people would have seen it, as there were so many submissions. And I doubt I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have just scrolled past it or missed it or something. And I wouldn't have won. Mine was right at the end, so people saw it before submitting their votes. That's the reason why. That's the main reason why I think I won, was because it was funny for one, but it was also very visible to everyone, because right before they submit, they can see it there. Again, just like how people would probably, as I said before, people would pass them all unless they happen to come by one, or it's the very beginning or very end, or if there's very few people, then they kind of just vote for the first ones and the rest of them. Just unfortunate how it works like that. So the winners get the thing called the chairman fit, which is basically clothing that is in the style of the Boardbot suit, and you get a backpack chairman plushie. You get glasses that represent the chairman's angry eye, and you get shoes that are supposed to represent dog shoes or Boardbot suit shoes. So I got that. I unfortunately didn't get any shoes, and the guys who also won that contest in October also did not get any shoes. Weird. But since I like the shoes that I'm wearing in my tune already, I don't really care as much. I might eventually reach out to someone about it later. They did say that they were trying to fix it, which never ended up happening, but I don't care as much about the shoes or just shoes, so if I really want to later, I'll get into that. I'll reach out to someone, but for now, I don't really care. And a second time, you get the EXE outfit, which is basically the same, thing, but you don't win the accessories again. Instead, it's the shirt and pants, but they are like much darker in color to represent Boardbot, executive Boardbot, right? So I had the opportunity here to win a second time, and since I would be the fourth person, my chances of winning would be like, be pretty high of winning. All I have to do is all I would have had to do was not come in fourth place, and I would have won. But unfortunately, again, due to an error on either of our ends, it didn't end up working that way, and my submission didn't go through. So they gave me these jelly beans instead. I appreciate that they're able to compensate me. But, so I can imagine that they will make these outfits available again in the future, both the normal Boardbot one and the executive Boardbot one. Other things, like maybe other kinds of contests or other events that they hold. I can't imagine that they would make these, legacy outfits, because the Clash community doesn't really seem to agree with the addition of any more legacy outfits. The ones that exist can stay legacy, but they shouldn't make any more outfits legacy, like, as in, like, you can only get it in this time frame and then you can never get it again. So I can imagine that they would make it so that people can continue earning both of these outfits. People who already have the normal one again can earn the executive one. Other means. Who knows what that will be like, but I think right now only time can really tell how they'll go about doing things. So yeah, I just wanted to provide some context for the video that you're about to see. Why I made it, what it's for, and all that stuff. And that I intended to commit it to the contest as well, but due to the error that one of the sides countered, it didn't end up going through. But if it did end up going through, and it did successfully get into the poll, whether or not it won, I still would have uploaded it to YouTube anyway, because I am still proud of it. I worked pretty hard in it, editing it and getting all the things in under the 2 minutes and 30 seconds that they gave us for these video submissions. But with all that stuff I wanted to say with this, hope you enjoy the video. Whoa, the executive washroom. We finally get to check it out. Can't wait to see what cool things are in here, if we can see any cogs in. Oh. Just stairs and elevator. Well, I guess it's not important. What's important is the boss itself. So, Overclock Ciela, harder version of the Chief Legal Officer. Don't ask me how this different elevator, clearly different from the one in the other room, can still lead you to the same exact place that the other elevator brings you. Fog magic? Who knows? You guys got these plants here, which, in case you didn't know, you can complete the puzzle, they'll talk to you, and you can also get this cool plant hat. Wait, what's this? I'm wearing a skirt? Yeah, I don't have eyelashes? How is this possible? Yeah, that's right. I'm doing it. Deal with it. And I'm also wearing the very broken plant tie that Ottoman gave us in April, and the April Tunes resistance shirt that Rocky gave us. He looked pretty upset. We talked to him. There goes the bell. Now, can't forget the most precious of them all, the Sads plush pack. They turn Sads into a marketable plushie, just like they did the Chairman, which is a backpack you can get if you win the contest that this video is being submitted to. Look at it, in all of its glory. Soon we may even have one of all the fat cogs. Who knows? These jelly beans here came from tickets because racing now uses jelly beans instead of racing tickets. But look, even more. All the skirts that I would have gotten from tasks that I completed, I now have all piled up into my inventory. My mailbox, I mean. I guess whoever runs the mail service just wants to make sure that we're all equal on clothes. So that's very nice. This person eventually took over Count Urklim's abode after he left previous year. And let me just say, people aren't very fond of this guy. Look at him. See? He's not Count Urklim. We don't want him. What's this? Tuno? As you can see, it was a bit broken when it first came out, but they were able to shave off those things and get it fixed up. Who's gonna win this match, huh? Well, we don't have time for that, so goodbye. To top it all off, I'm wearing the 2022 glasses. The glasses that show the end of 2021 and the end of this year where they added all this stuff. I almost forgot. Trolley games, they were revamped too. But who even plays those anyway?